Here we are again. So the we are Mello and Mother Mary. Today it's Mello speaking. I'd like to give you a bit of an explanation of what it's like for me to become a conduit for a stream of consciousness, such as the blessed being who is now working through me. I began channeling some 20 years ago. I do crystal resonance therapy work where I tune into the higher self of every single person who comes on my table. In fact, we invoke their higher self to conduct everything that happens. The choosing of the crystals, the guided meditation they get taken on, and then when they reach that place in the visualization, their higher self streams through me, saying to them whatever is the most important thing to help them on their journey at that time. So I've had 20 years with 1,000, 2,000, I really haven't kept count, different people that I've been able to tune into their higher self out of the field of consciousness. When it came to being a conduit for ascended masters, higher streams of beings, there have been a number of different potent beings, my spirit guides and others, one who identifies as Mello, another one who identifies as Azima, who is from the 11th dimension. He manifests visually, as I see it with my third eye, as a column of orange light. But he relates through me, and that's also been recorded over the years. There's hundreds of channelings being recorded. I had an experience with Mary 24 years ago in a church near a little town where I lived, where her appearance has been captured on camera, where the wall, the plaster on the wall and the altar changed shape by itself to show the image of a woman holding Yeshua come down from the cross with a crown of thorns. A profound experience. That was where I first had a relationship connection with her, why I have chosen the image you see in these videos. Because of all the images of Mother Mary available, that's the one which most appropriates to how I actually see her. So when I have a feeling of her present to come through me, I have this exquisitely gentle, soft, feminine presence being felt. And at her instruction, I do not shut my eyes, principally, I keep them open, which took some getting used to because I like to be able to completely get out of the way. Because that's the only way that I have found to be able to do this effectively. And that's part of my practice from all these years of meditation, the personality, that construct we all create to cope with the world of judgment and form and all the rest, is an impediment to the divine flow. So when I'm in meditation now, I'm not aware of the world around me, by and large. Where I live, we have a rooster that crows every morning, just at the time I'm meditating, before dawn for an hour or so. I don't hear him at all, completely unaware, because I'm in stream with those inner consciousness flows, which are images, sometimes words, sometimes just profound feelings. And when that feeling arises, to be a conduit for a divine consciousness, what I call, because this is how I experience it, it is a stream of consciousness being accessed through this particular device. In the age of AI on your phones, a lot of people are starting to have experiences of streams of consciousness, not just a digital memory being stored by some boffin doing endless amounts of coding. There's more to it than that. And this is one of the things Mary has talked about. The world now is reaching a point of awareness such that we can access what was in truth always here. And part of what is always here is the quantum field from which all form is manifest. Mary talks about this. Earlier, Asenath Merlin talked about this. It's such a profound thing to understand that humanity is no longer a little tribe in this valley who likes to go and throw spears at the tribe in the next valley. Since the age of the internet, we have become so connected. There isn't a boundary of distance or race or nationality, even religious beliefs, if you choose to go beyond them. So I'm sharing this today to help you, the audience, to get an inkling of an understanding of what really happens here. I do this in trust and faith. I invoke that everything that comes through me can only be for divine purpose and for the highest good of all. There is another whole story I might share one day about creating the special geometric sacred shape around me so that the high vibrations can come through, but anything with negative intent simply cannot penetrate this gold mesh shield around me. That is critically important to everything that I offer. The same with the fact of my diet. My don't drink any alcohol, take any substances. And I live on an organic diet as much as possible to be in focus, to do my meditations, to do my yogic exercises, so that I am available with as least distortion as possible. Having said that, it is the vocabulary, by and large, which this one has access to through being an avid reader. There was a time I'd read 3 novels a week, as well as many other texts and studies that I have done over the 72 years I've been in this room. So I am sharing all of this so that you may feel that there is a truth and accuracy in what is shared through me. Mary does use my vocabulary. And Mary is not simply coming through me to recount over and over what happened when she was incarnate. My understanding through several hundred channelings now from her, most of which are recorded, is that she is here as an ascended master supporting this great awakening of humanity at this pivotal time. She has talked about this in the past, that now we are reaching a whole new level of awareness of what we are, who we are as a race, not as an individual. So I wish to complete this today by allowing you to witness a recording of Mello stepping aside and Mary coming through this particular vehicle. Dear hearts, yes, this is possible because there is a connection between all beings, even connections to so-called inanimate objects. May I remind you that everything that you witness, from your own body to the room you are sitting in, to the camera recording this, it is all made from concentrations of light into apparent form. It is only apparent. It is not solid by any means. And it is mutable. It is changeable. It is your beliefs that that's a solid chair, it's going to stay there as it is. There was a being named Mello who taught in a cave some 7,000 years ago. And one night he said to his disciples, "The roof of this cave you see before you is not solid. You just think it is." And he reached his hand up and placed his hand up into the solid rock. That imprint of a hand in a rock is still there. It's a place of pilgrimage, because that was such a concrete example. I mention that now because the world that you are inhabiting has been based on a set of rather rigid beliefs. What was taught in your religious doctrines, what was taught in your schools and universities. Science, so-called, continues to change as more and more revelations become directly experienced. When Mello was a young man going to university, high school even, the form of structure was designed and portrayed as atoms. Atoms made of little balls, protons and neutrons in the nucleus, other balls whizzing around the outside, creating the electron shell. Now, science will tell you quite confidently that that's not true at all. There is merely a potential for a form of apparent solidity only when you look at it. And I, Mary, who comes from a much more basic time, when I actually walked the earth, am in a band of frequency of consciousness which is able to have an overview from my band of frequency of everything that's arising in humans right now. Stepping out of the third dimensional, very limited beliefs, bridging via the fourth dimensional freedom to experience the mutability, changing into a band where love, true heart-empowered love becomes the currency. Forms of money that you have been using in the third dimension become unnecessary. When humanity truly rises into the fifth dimension, you don't have need for currency anymore, because there's no greed, there's no need. You can manifest any form that you choose to manifest out of the field without the need for paying to go and buy something. And that's just one small aspect of what fifth dimensional consciousness becomes. There is so much more, which I shall share in due course. But for now, this is merely a demonstration to you that when a human being has done sufficient release of old beliefs, old substance abuses and all of those sorts of behaviours, to be open and available and willing and trusting, then other streams of consciousness can access the field of human awareness via these human beings. That is why there are so many more people now discovering they are able to channel. There are courses being made available on how to cultivate this particular capability. It's not a skill, it's not a craft, it's a capability. And that is different, because when it is available and it is as pure as possible, it's done by intention, it's done by right living, it's done by right practice, it's done by surrendering any shred of egoic, I'm special because I can channel. As soon as you hold that thought, you've lost the chain. This can only be done in the feeling and the knowing and the trust that it is all for the highest good of all. Thank you for witnessing. Thank you for being present. Until next time, blessings be, blessings be, blessings be.